Hello everyone, welcome back again to my channel. If you are new, please like and subscribe to my channel. This story I brought to you guys is from story about a lady called Irene Muboga. She's from Kenya. She's just 46 years old. And she was working for one local agency. And this local agency sent her to go and work in a mental home. And guess what? The patient they sent her to go and look after, the patient by her in the mental home where she was working. This news is very sad, and she's just 2 years old in this country, UK. 2 years old, she came to this country, and this story happened in Birmingham, in a mental health home. You see what I want to say here? Working in a mental health home, I used to work in a mental health home, is very, very dangerous. You have to be very, very vigilant when you're working with these people. And only God knows, maybe she's working alone in that care home, maybe at night, alone there. Maybe, or maybe she was with other staff. Because I know, usually, if people are working in a care home from agency, sometimes the home, they just use only 2 staff to do sleepover. Sometimes, just assuming, because I used to work in a mental home before, a long time ago, when I was working with an agency. I used to work there before. And my experience there, I don't want to talk about that experience. That experience I experienced when I was working in mental home was terrible. Very, very terrible. What I saw with my eyes. Let's come back to this story before I tell you about my own story. My experience working in mental home years ago. This lady, she just came 2 years, and my mind is telling me that maybe she doesn't have that skill to look after mental health patients. Because if you have that skill like a trained mental health nurse, it might not happen. But however, sometimes there's a story about a mental health nurse that a patient almost strangled her with his hoodie. You know hoodie? The hoodie they wear with the rope that they use to string the hoodie to cover your face. The patient almost strangled her with that rope he used to tie his hoodie. They took out the rope and almost used to strangle the mental health nurse. This working in that home with mental patients, man, we should be praising mental health nurses though. They are risking their life. Okay, let's come back to this girl's story. This lady, she have children back home. She just came to work. I know when she got the visa, she'll be happy. Oh, I came to work in UK. She'll be happy, not knowing that in 2 years' time, she will go to the next world. And working in that mental health nurse, mental home with mental patient, as it from a local agency, you have to be, like I said again, you have to be very vigilant. It's a very dangerous job. You have to be very vigilant to the core. My own experience was that when I was working in a care home through local agency, if I remember my experience years ago when I came to this country, I would just be thinking, I said, God, it was God that saved me. My experience was not a good experience. When I work in a mental health, my agency sent me to work with 5 patients. In that 5 patients in a home, right? When I went to work, I realized that we're just 2 staff, 1 permanent staff and me, agency from a local agency like this lady too that died. As I was working there, I was doing sleeping. That is what I mean by sleeping. The permanent staff there, I will help her till around 11 p.m. Then when it's 11 p.m., I will go in and sleep. Then I'll come out around 4 a.m. to help her to clean everything with the permanent staff was doing night. So when I went in there in the night, I was helping the permanent staff before 10 o'clock. I was helping her. Then at 11 o'clock at night, I went to the office, the manager office, to go and sleep. I left the permanent staff on the floor. If I mean on the floor, that is, she was now working in the home alone from 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. Then I was in the office sleeping. Then I realized that the permanent staff opened where I was sleeping and came in around 1 a.m. I was surprised. She locked the door behind her. I was surprised. See what happened? She said, no, she cannot walk on the floor again. That all the patients, there were 5 men in that house then. Hey, if I remember the risk I took, I said, God, it was God that saved me. There were 5 men in that house then. So those 5 mental health patients now came out from the room. One was in the kitchen, banging the kitchen top with spoon and fork. The other one was outside smoking the cigarette. The other one was outside flipping the dog. Boom, 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 boom. They were all out of order. We could not come out. So what we did, the permanent staff have to call the management. The manager came around 1 a.m. He came with 2 men. They don't come alone, no. He came with 2 men. The manager is a woman. She came with 2 men. As she came into the house, she came and gave them all the medication to sleep. I think the manager forgot to give them the medication that evening to sleep. Maybe that's the reason why they came out around 1 a.m. and started disturbing the whole house. So the manager came with 2 men to give them medication and stay with us till in the morning. And that was my experience. It's a dangerous job. This job, I praise mental health nurse. It's not an easy job. Another of my experience was my second experience was when I went to work in that mental home. And that one, no, another different setting, but it's a house. So this house is like with 4 people with a mental health problem. They were all men. As I was working there, when the agency sent me to go and work there, I came in around 6 o'clock in the evening, and I realized that the manager gave me a handover. I was inside, and I realized that I was the only one in the house with these 4 men. I was the only one. So the manager told me not to worry, that she has given them all the medication. If I go back and reflect all this, I'll just say it was God that saved me during that time when I was working with these people. Okay, let's continue my story. I now went into this home. The manager left, and she told me not to worry. As I was inside, I was doing the cleaning. I served them tea. They were all in the living room watching television. I served them tea, everything. Then I do the cleaning. Then I went in around 12 to sleep. But the manager told me they would go back to their bed to sleep. Okay. When I went in, I was in the manager office. I was sleeping. Then the next thing, I saw 2 men came down. One went to the kitchen. One was climbing the stairs, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. The other one was using he went to the kitchen. All the cereal, it was sprinkling on the floor. I could not come. I was scared. I have to call the manager and say, look at this patient. Oh, they have come out. Oh, what am I going to do? The manager told me, stay inside the office. When I come in the morning, I will sort it out. I didn't come out. I was in the office. They were scattering the kitchen. One was roping up, going up and down the stairs. I have to wait till the manager came. When I waited, the manager came around 7 o'clock and gave them medication. When the manager came, I have to come out. When she came to the office, I have to come out. I come out of the office inside the home. When I heard the manager came, I came out. When I came, I look at what I saw. I saw poo-poo on the staircase. Big poo-poo, which means the person that was walking up the stairs, it was rubbing poo-poo on the staircase. Okay, that was my experience. It was more my experience. After all those, my experience in working in those mental health facility home, my dear, I told myself, mental health is not for me. It's not an easy job, because you'll be in there, working there, your heart is up and down, your heart is bumping because you are scared. because these people, they can twist and harm you, and they will go scot-free. They will go scot-free. If I say go scot-free, they will not give them long prison sentence. They will give maybe like 10 years prison sentence. But you are already gone. So me, I cannot risk my life in that kind of job. So after I experienced that job, I told myself I will never work in mental health facility again. Since then, I left. I never worked there again. So all my experience in that agency, that time, what I experienced in that home, I told myself it's not for me. More experience what I experienced, because I was worked like 2 years in that mental health facility. I just told myself this job is not for me. It's scary. You have to be very vigilant when you're working with them. If you're working with them, you don't turn your back to them, because they can twist and just strangle you without you knowing. Because they'll be laughing at you. When you just turn your back, the next thing, boom. So when you are working with them, you have to be vigilant. When they're talking to you, you have to face them so that you can predict the next action. You have to face them and give them like 2 meters away from you. And when you're working with that people, you don't, like what the risk I took then, you don't work alone. You work like 3 people. There has to be like 2 men with you, because they have strength. 1 girl, 2 men. And that job, I think, is for men. Or if it's not for, if you want, let's say they want to do gender equality, we have to put like 1 girl and with 2 men with that job. From my experience, so, and like I said, you have to be vigilant when you're working with them. Face them. Talking to you, have to face and give them space, because they can strike from laughter. It can just be anger, from anger to killing. They can strike anytime. It's not a job you risk your life for. I left. I could not say. So let's go back to this case story. I pray that God give the family the strength to bear this, because it's very sad. Look at that very beautiful lady. And look at the what the government, the police said about her. They are still doing the investigation. I know this guy that buy her now, this young guy, 4 years old, this guy, he will go to prison. He will go to prison. He will not go scot-free. So that's the story. If you do that, if you do this kind of job, please be vigilant. Be vigilant, because they can strike anytime. It's a clean job. You don't pack pool. You just tell them what to do. But as you are talking with them, you have to be vigilant. I don't know what about this woman's story. I don't know if she was vigilant enough, or if she had a good handover about this patient she went to look after. Because sometimes the agency, the staff there, they will not give you full handover when you come through agency, because they don't want you to go away. Because they say they want to go home for break. So we don't know what happened, but that's what happened in this girl's case. They find her with bruises on her face and on her neck. This guy, maybe the guy was even the racist, who knows? It could be. Because if the guy can attack the face like that, which means maybe he's a better patient that have racism in his heart. So that's my story for today. So for now, bye for now. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Bye.